Well, peeps, I'm out here. I done this mowing. Um, I'm tired. It's a Friday afternoon though, so now I'm gonna get a blade mower and we'll do some blade cutting. I got this string mower and it's doing a really good job. It's gonna do a lot more than it's gonna do a lot of cutting. We got 3 acres here. So far, we haven't figured out a way to get a riding mower. We got somebody. We're in a lineup. He ain't gonna get to us anytime soon though. So anyway, enjoy the video. Leave a comment. Like and subscribe. Peace. Alright, well, last week I mowed all down the front of the property. From the driveway down to the property line. And this stuff is really fertile apparently. Because it's ready to be mowed again. But we can't really see in this limited little video clip is just how rough it is and how much rocks there is, especially the further down you go, because during rainy season it washes that way. So the further down you go, the worse it gets with the rocks. Plus the maintainer comes through here and pushes rocks over into the grass. So yeah. So what did I mow this with? Last couple of years I would mow it with a push mower. And yeah, like I said, you can't really mow this with a push mower. Well, last week I bought this beast. This is a Earthquake. It's a string mower. It's 22-inch cutting width, which it's a little shy of that because the strings are a little bit shorter than the factory strings. But this is not our first impression video. I've run this machine, like I said. But it's got a kill switch right here because the engine idle, and it turns all it does is turn off the head, and it idle. And it's got a prime pump. You got to prime it. I think it's 3. I think you have to push it 3 times. Yeah, it says 3 times. Maybe a little bit more, but anyway, you press that and it starts up. The string loads fairly simple. I don't really care for it, but that's the way it loads. It's not too bad. You got a slot here. Now this is one thing. This is a nice feature right here. You got a slot right up here, and there's a zert in there for lubricating that bearing. I didn't know that. If I'd known that, I'd bought me a grease gun and a tube of grease, but I didn't know that. So anyway, it came with a quart of oil. I'm sure there's a service record on it for how to do it. But my next little project is to mow this down through here. And this little machine, I got it in Missouri. You get a farm exemption on certain pieces of equipment. So that price tag was $3.99. I gave a penny to the 4-H, and it was exactly $400 for this machine because I didn't have to pay taxes on it. That's a nice feature. I like that. So anyway, yeah, I got this little bit to mow. That pasture over there where that clump of trees and honeysuckle is, that's a pasture, and that's going to end up being a cow and goats over there. I should be able to put all 3 goats over there on that one because, yeah, she can't get through. She can get through barbed wire and electric fence wire, but she can't get through that, I hope. So anyway, I got to mow this. We got a tiger lily here, and we got some irises in there. We got poke salad there, but when I first moved here, the missus said there's no way we ever going to eat that because it's poisonous. Anytime the animals get to it, that's the very first thing they eat. The cow and the goats are still alive, but that's the very first thing they eat when they see it. I mean, they'll get to that before they do the honeysuckle. And I know honeysuckle is good for them, but they do. They eat it, and they've survived. My thing about poke salad is nobody's ever told me what the agent is that's poisonous in poke salad. Nobody's ever told me that. Somebody tell me that and say, hey, this is what's in poke salad. This is the poison. Okay. I've eaten poison. I ate poke salad when I was a kid. But I'm not going to pursue that, option today. I don't want her to be worried about me. I don't want to be wrong. So there we go. Oh, the neighbor dogs are coming down to visit. I bet they won't stay when the mower starts. All right, guys. Let's get to it. Maybe I'll show another clip when I'm done. All right, so my shop, where my tools are, it's probably about 200 miles, 200 feet uphill. So, in this continued review of this machine, it's pretty straightforward how it works. You just run these strings until they break, and then you replace the strings and you crank it back up. But these will get jammed up in the loops. Carry your tool. Me, I got a pair of fencing pliers. Oh yeah, cover it up. Cover up the camera, Jerry. Alright. So me, I carry a pair of fencing pliers. Because when that gets jammed up, and you can't get it out by hand, you're gonna be like me. You're gonna cuss because you had to walk all the way uphill to the tool shack to get the fencing pliers you should have had in your pocket. Yeah. So, yeah. That's the thing to remember about this. Well, now, I've used almost a tank of gas. I've done some rough cutting. I trimmed down this road quite a ways, actually. That way, from post to post on the perimeter. And I've never been able to mow that far down. Show you something else I did. This string mower, it don't sling rocks. It don't even sling rocks as bad as a weed eater does. And it dang sure don't sling them as bad as a blade does. So, that's a plus in the right direction. But over here, even amongst all this honeysuckle, is some sawbriars. I just gave it a trim. I stuck that mower and just shoved it up in there as far as it would go. And it whacked off a bunch of them sawbriars. I don't know how much it got, but it got a lot of them. So, that's a step in the right direction. Can't never get away. You can't never get rid of enough sawbriars. 2 more sticks. But anyway, we had daffodils down here. We still got some lilacs. Yeah, still got some of them. Daffodils are basically done for the season. But I don't know. Mrs. might want to dig them up, so I didn't cut them back. But anyway, what I'll do now is I'll come in here with the push mower, come down the side of the driveway and come right in here with the push mower and trim it up some, because the string mower does not give you an even cut. It won't bog down. He'll cut the weeds. Sticks, anything over, anything over up to a ½ inch or bigger, it's not going to really do that well with them. You can stand there and just hit it with the string, and it will gnaw it down till it breaks the string, and then you have to reload it. But anyway, we'll bring the blade mower down here and trim up her, because like I said, I think I just about run out of gas on this mower. Yeah, I'm really tired. One thing about a string mower, you can weed eat with a string mower. Yeah, you don't have to actually use a weed eater. You will have to use a weed eater in some places, but not nearly as often as you would if you only had a blade mower. So if you're thinking about a string mower, well, I wouldn't encourage you to buy Chinese, but if that's what you can afford, well, there you go. It ain't such a bad machine, I guess. These handles are supposed to be adjustable. I just set it up that way and just kept using it that way. But they're supposed to go backwards and forwards wherever you want it. And the way I do it is I shove it in there like that and drag it back. And that gives it a You cut some of it when you go in, then you get the ground, you bald it when you bring it back out. I ain't trying to get a certain height with it. I want it down. So, as far as things I don't really care for, this cover collects a lot of grass. And if that's supposed to help with ventilation, keep it cool, yeah, that's not good. But, for $400, I'm doing pretty good with it.